Your team isn't just peaceful, your team is silent. And silence isn't necessarily safety, it could be surrender. Today, I want to talk about the hidden cost of fake harmony and why being nice might be the most toxic thing that's happening in your business right now. I'm Sharon, the Culture Catalyst, and welcome to Culture Shift in Action. This is the series where I show business leaders like you how to make shifts, spot the gaps, and create a team that truly thrives. Every week, I talk to leaders who say, well, we don't really have a culture issue here. And I quote, there's no conflict, we don't get any negative feedback. And my thoughts on that are, that's not necessarily culture. That could be avoidance. If your teams aren't debating ideas, having meaningful discussions, they could be suppressing them. And when that happens, your culture could quietly drift until one day you realize all your best people have emotionally checked out. Because fake harmony, well, it feels calm. It looks like teamwork, but underneath, resentment could be building. If your people nod pleasantly in their meetings, they might be venting in private. They agree in public, but they execute things half-heartedly. It's the corporate equivalent of saying, I'm fine, when you're definitely not fine. So how does fake harmony creep in business? It starts with really good intentions. Business leaders want to keep the peace, make sure morale stays high, and avoid those awkward conversations. But over time, that peacekeeping can turn into people pleasing, which is what we don't want. There are three main drivers of fake harmony that I see over and over again. First is fear of conflict. We presume that conflict means chaos. Secondly, we protect our egos. We don't want to appear wrong in front of our teams. And thirdly, it's about speed. It's quicker to move on than to slow down and have those tough conversations. What you need to remember is avoiding the friction doesn't save time in the long run. It just defers the fallout to a point later on down the line. Every unspoken disagreement pops up as future disengagement. Now, why is this important for your culture in your business? Well, the cost of fake harmony shows up, as far as I've seen, in three quite brutal ways. Firstly, decision quality tanks. If everybody is agreeing too quickly, then no one is thinking critically, strategically, or deeply enough about things that are happening in your business. Secondly, psychological distance grows. Your team stop challenging you, they stop trusting each other. And the real, honest, open conversations happen in the car park or in the WhatsApp group or side of desk in the kitchen when they're making a brew, conversations that you're not part of. They're not happening in the room where it really matters. Thirdly, energy is leaking everywhere. Pretending everything is fine takes real effort. And when people can't be real and they have to suppress their true opinions, they get very tired very quickly. They get very cynical very quickly. And worryingly, they get detached. And that's when you start hearing phrases that should really terrify you as a leader. Phrases like, it's not worth it, doesn't matter, don't bother, let's just get through this week. So, how can you shift fake harmony? And this might sound strange, but the antidote to fake harmony is to create more conflict, but clean conflict. Here's how you do it. The first hack, I want you to reframe a conflict as progress. Start saying things like, let's be curious before we get furious. Sounds cheesy, but if that's set in your brain and that's what people understand, it means they'll have a different perspective on a conversation that you should be having. When someone does disagree, thank them for it. You should be grateful for that challenge, not shutting it down. And remember, you're not arguing to win. You're arguing to understand. The second hack I have for you is to normalize micro dissonance. Now, what does that mean? It could be simple as asking at the end of a meeting, what are we not saying here? What feels a bit off about this? And really encourage and support your team to identify those things that need to be named. Give your people permission to disagree safely before any resentment builds. And my last hack is that you need to model some vulnerability. If you're running a business and you are a leader of a team, This is on you, and it's super important. If you start to show that you don't have all the answers, then people are more likely to help and support you and then volunteer their own answers instead of not saying anything. You could start by saying something like, I might be missing something. What's your take? So when you show you can handle being wrong, your team learn that they can do that too. So what is the payoff for identifying and shifting fake harmony? When you replace fake harmony with honest dialogue, something magical happens. You save time because your meetings are shorter. Your business grows because decisions are stronger. And really importantly, people start to tell you what you need to hear, not what they think you want to hear. And that is critical for a healthy culture and a thriving business. Suddenly, your culture will feel really alive again. The goal isn't comfort, it's connection. Real cultures are not built on good vibes only. They're built on truth, on trust, and on tension managed well. If you've noticed your team's smiles starting to feel a bit rehearsed, then it's time to have a really honest conversation. Ask those hard questions, invite those awkward answers, and remember, harmony might feel safe, but honesty builds strength. If you want the full Culture Shift Blueprint, there'll be a link in the description. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and share it with somebody who you think will value it. Remember, culture doesn't shift when everyone agrees. Culture shifts when everyone cares enough to disagree. I'll see you next time.